As usual, I'm going to fill my brows in, and before I do that, I like to lay down my brow hairs with Got2b gel. Got2b gel is not for everybody, so definitely find a brow gel to use if you don't want to use Got2b gel on your brows. But if you want to use this, please use it sparingly. Just use a little bit of it. A little bit of it goes a long way. I'm going to clean the bottom of my brows with Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Butterscotch. If you are using a concealer that's not, thick, you want to put it at the back of your hand or one of these things and go in with your flat brush. This is my Evita Joseph Precision Concealer brush, and then spread out the product on here so you can get a thin layer of product on your brush. You don't want to have too much product on your brush so that when you are applying that, it doesn't slip and slide, so you are able to get like a very good precision when cleaning the bottom part of your brows. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this concealer in. I'm gonna go ahead and fill my brows in with my Evita Joseph Expert Brow Liner in the shade Rich Espresso. Actually, before that, I need to set the concealer at the bottom part of my brows. Otherwise, it would, mess with the eyebrows when I begin to fill them. You find that concealer would keep going into the brows and the brow pencil while you are filling your brows in. So your brows are gonna look messy. If you prefer to fill your brows in before cleaning them up, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to clean the top part of my brows with the shade Chestnut. Just like that, the brows are done. So I am going to start off with my eyes. I'm gonna prime my eyelids with my concealer in the shade Chestnut, and then I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in with my sponge from Morphe. I'm gonna set that down with my powder from ABH. For my eye makeup, I'm gonna use the Nuban Beauty Ultra eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna start with the shade Ada, this warm brown here. I'm gonna put that into my crease to warm that up. And then I'm going into the shade Woode, which is this dark brown here. I'm gonna put that on my eyelids and blend that in. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Aisha, which is this dark matte black, and I'm going to use that to line my lash line. I'm going to create a wing with the matte black. Just like so. So I'm gonna do same to the other eye. I'm gonna go into the dark brown and I'm going to use that to smoke out the black. This is just to soften the black so it doesn't appear too harsh. However, you can just leave it black if you want it to look harsh. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like. And then I'm going into the dark brown with a fluffy brush and I'm going to use that close to the lash line. So it should look something like this. We are not done with the eye makeup yet, but we're going to start off with the base. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty primer and I'm going to apply that onto my skin, you know, focusing on the areas that have large pores. I look casket ready, but that's not the point. I'm gonna go ahead and use my concealers in the shade Warm Sand and Butterscotch. I'm gonna put them under my eye area. I'm gonna do underpainting today. I just can't stop with underpainting. I love it so much. So I'm gonna start with Warm Sand. Then Butterscotch on the rest of my face. Looks good. And I'm gonna go into my cream contour. This is the Juvia's Place Stick Foundation in the shade Katina. I'm going to apply that where I usually apply my cream contour. Lashes are on, so I'm gonna start off with blending out my concealer. I'm gonna use my Color Box Cosmetics brush. This is my favorite concealer brush. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out my contour with my Real Techniques contour brush. I'm gonna start off here. I'm gonna go in with foundation. I'm using my Nars Soft Matte Foundation in the shade Macao. I'm gonna put literally a drop of foundation. Okay, that was more than a drop. Then I'm going to, my nose is a little stuffy. I'm having a sort of allergic reaction. Fun fact, I'm actually allergic to my cat, but I've had her for so long and I didn't know what it was at first. Whenever I touch her or she comes to lay on my pillow or on my bed and I happen to like come into contact with her fur just around my face, so my eyes, my nose or my mouth, I would sneeze and get all stuffy. My eyes would get red. So whenever I pet her, whenever I play with her, I just have to wash my hands. And before I sleep, I change out my pillowcases. So I have like a sleeping pillowcase. I already use like a silk pillowcase, so I just cover up my regular pillows so that, you know, I prevent myself from having an allergic reaction. Yeah, so that's that. I'm just spreading out the foundation on my skin and I'm going to start blending that out with my Real Techniques buffing brush. Just using that here. Then I'm gonna go directly into the foundation, spread that out here, and I'm going to start blending out everywhere else. I'm gonna use my sponge to blend out my under eye area and my nose area, because those are the areas that I usually like to keep highlighted. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out my contour on my nose. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eye with my Turn Up the Base powder from One Size in the shade Medium Neutral. This is a light powder. I'm gonna use that to set my under eye area. You don't have to use a pressed powder to set your under eye area. You can just use a loose powder. I just have a plethora of products that I like to use, so yeah, just so I can, you know, create variety in my tutorials. So use whatever you have. And for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder. For the rest of my face, I'm going to use the LA Pro face powder and my Real Techniques powder brush. Just going to stamp that into the areas. Again, you can use a translucent powder to set your entire face, or use a pressed powder that is your skin tone to set your entire face. This would help you to maintain the structures that you've created with the contour and the highlighting. Secondly, it would set your foundation in place. So if you have oily skin, or if it's like a really hot day, you're gonna have your makeup lasting a little bit longer. And then thirdly, it gives you extra coverage. So you can use a translucent powder if you are like doing something really light, or that's what you have in your collection. As you can see, the structures are still set in place. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Coconutty. I'm gonna apply that where I applied my cream contour. I'm going in with my Morphe M527 brush. This brush sheds so much, that's why I don't use it very often. You can see all the hairs flying off of the brush. I don't know why it sheds so much, but yeah, we are done with bronzer. I just wanted to give it one last chance because I can't stand a brush that just sheds all over the place. I'm gonna use my bronzer, the same bronzer, and I'm gonna use that on my nose contour. So we are going back into the eye makeup for the lower lash line. I'm gonna go ahead and tightline with a blue eyeliner. Yeah, this is the pop of color I was talking about. This is the Rimmel London Scandal Eyes Intense Color Waterproof Gel Liner. I'm going to use that to tightline. It's coming off as black. Okay, so it is a very dark blue color. So I'm going to use my Juvia's Place Olori 2 eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna go into this shade, this blue shade right here, and I'm going to use that on my lower lash line just to bring out the blue that we applied earlier. I'm going to use my brush to blend in the powder on my skin, and then to dust off any fallout before I go ahead and blend this. For powder blush, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Juvia's Place blush in the shade Bella. I'm using my e.l.f. blush brush, and I didn't use any cream blush today. This blush is pigmented on its own, like it's so pigmented. It looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. While the setting spray is drying down, I'm gonna go in and top off the blue color because I want it really intense. And then I'm going in with this shimmer into my inner corners, just like so. I'm gonna bring that in here. So it's gonna look something like this. Do not worry, it looks crazy, but trust the process. And then we're gonna go ahead and apply highlighter. I'm using my Wet n Wild highlighter. If you didn't guess that, I'm obsessed with it. And I'm going to put that into my inner corners on top of the blue. And I'm going on my nose, the bridge of my nose, and the high point of my brow area. And I'm gonna apply some onto the high point of my cheekbones. For mascara, I'm gonna use this from Huda Beauty, the Legit Lashes. For my lips, I'm gonna use a dark brown lip liner to line my lips. And then I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Stunna lip paint in the shade Unveil. And to bring this entire look together, I'm gonna use my Fenty Stunna lip paint in the shade Uncensored. Okay guys, so this is the end of today's tutorial. I really like the way the look came out. It might be too bold for some people. Also, you can switch the lip color to something nude or a lip gloss, or you know, whatever suits you. But I just wanted to try this out. I don't know, it just came into my mind. I was like, let me just try this out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget to like this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Bye guys.